What's going on, fam? This is Podcast Agent Zero coming with another reaction video. And today what I'm doing is I'm reacting to the new Royal Mall podcast, the most recent one. It was a specific part of the podcast where Maul asks Damaris, the young lady right here, about a call that she made on a previous podcast. It was kind of like a prank call just to see how her parents would react. In her mind, she thought my father and mother would support me if I did porn. So she actually called them and asked them, would you support me if I actually did porn? You know what I'm saying? But both of them so-called had other things going on, so they wasn't able to continue the conversation. In my opinion, there's a particular reason for that. They was thrown off for sure. Thrown off by that question. But Maul right here brings it back up and seeing, whatever happened after that phone call. So that's what we're about to go into. We're just about to have a conversation about that. Let's continue.
No, fuck you. I was saying, no, he said I push niggas to hit me. And I'm like, I don't, because I'm not gonna, you want to yell and, once you start yelling and screaming, I stop speaking.
Yo, now that we here, okay, is mom and dad okay after that phone call you gave them? Like
I told you, they both said that I actually caught them both in a bad mood. That's the only reason why I caught them both in a bad mood. Like, they were both, like, pissed off for different reasons, too. And I didn't know that until, like, my sister texted me, like, girl, you caught them on the wrong fucking day, because they were already on the phone with each other, like, just both having a bad day, saying they were having a bad day. So that's why they were both just silent, because it was like somebody on the internet compared it to when...
Nah, they both had to reconvene after... Our daughter just asked me that she was thinking about actually doing porn. They was thrown off by that shit, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know exactly what it is, bro. So a lot of parents don't want to confront their child about that. For the most part, most parents are going to be thrown off and be like, oh, fuck no. But me, I'm going to be like, oh, no, hell no. I'm not supporting you with that. Hell no. But let's continue.
Like, you had a long day at work and you go to walk in your door and you drop your keys. Like, it was like that. Like, not
what
right
else,
now.
Yeah, like, what else could go wrong?
Yeah, not right now, Damaris. Like, it was that type of shit.
I'm still not jacking it. But not right now.
I'm not jacking it either, Maul. I'm not jacking that shit. Hell no.
Being a call about porn on a live podcast is...
Because it's just like my daughter, both of their daughters are childish as shit. Like, me and my sister are very childish, and we giggling on the phone laughing about the dumbest shit.
That wasn't the time.
And it just wasn't the day, and it was kind of...
All right, that's cool, but your pops are still not supporting that.
I actually had a phone conversation with him, and he says, I will support you through... I don't gotta like it, I don't gotta fuck with it, but whatever you do, I will support it. I'm not gonna watch and cheer you on.
If your daughter sits
what's the
down...
problem? Ain't no supporting it.
Yeah. I want to know what that means.
My thing is, exactly what that means. Ain't no supporting it. You're a grown-ass woman. I'm not gonna support it. You do what you do. But hey, I'm not supporting that shit. Do y'all know what the word support means? Like, fuck no. I'm not cheering you on. I'm not about to be proud of you. Hell no. And that's the problem with men nowadays. We don't put our foot down with what's acceptable or not. That's the reason why shit is haywire in society. Because masculinity is dead. Now, a lot of us are here to put a resurgence back in masculinity. But in general, that shit has been dead for a long ass time. And that's the reason why we see what we see right now in society. You heard me. Let's continue.
Support isn't like he's not gonna fucking excommunicate me from the family. Like,
yeah, but if your daughter does porn, and I could, can I speak for you as a father? I'm not a father yet, but it's pretty safe to speak
yes,
to you.
let's throw my 2-year-old in the scenario.
No, I'm saying you just as a father, being a father, you can resonate with this. You failed as a father if your daughter ends up doing porn.
That part.
I don't care what nobody says, and I know porn stars. I love them. They're good people. I have a few friends that are in the adult entertainment industry. Not saying they're bad people, but as a father, if your daughter ends up doing porn, you failed. As a father, if your son ends up in jail for killing somebody, gang banging, you failed. That's a fail as a father.
So you're comparing...
Okay, before she about to do that blank slate equalism response right here, because she's going with you're comparing. Now we're about to go into that. The reason why what Maul is saying is all the way on point is because the reason why you failed as a father when it comes to when it comes to, excuse me, I'm driving right now. When it comes to the daughter having to resort to porn, number one, she doesn't know how to relate to the masculine love, and you as a father are supposed to be the representation of that. And when it comes to being able to attract and or deal with, how can I put this? A stable, loving, protection and provisioning, you would not have to resort to pornography in any way. You wouldn't have to feel like you're lost of love, or you wouldn't feel like you have to resort to pornography or sex work to survive. You wouldn't have to if you have, as a man, has instilled certain things into your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to the son, you would instill certain ethics, morality, and skill sets to where your son can depend on himself to make sure that he's good instead of resorting to violence, lack of emotional intelligence. So he's either in prison for lack of emotional intelligence or in prison for lack of skill set to be able to provide for himself and others. So that's why you would feel as a father, if your son is in prison, unless he's riding for something of just cause that's really against the status quo, righteously, or your daughter is resorting to sex work. Let's continue.
Being a murderer to being a porn star.
No. I'm not.
Same thing.
No, I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying, as parents, you don't want your kids to end up doing certain things to support themselves.
But again, make it clear, and it's different for the genders. It's different because we are different. Because the value we provide is different. So therefore, when the woman has to resort to pornography, her value is ripped from her. It's taken from her because anybody has access to that body, not to someone that's of certain value that's willing to provide and protect and do whatever it takes to make sure that she's good. It's multiple different men, and then all types of men are getting pleasure by observing her body. The whole world. You dig what I'm saying? It's no longer sacred to that man that's making sure that she's good. It's no longer sacred. That's a failure. That's a fucking failure. And then, again, we're not going to just keep repeating ourselves, but that's why it's different. Because as the man, what can you do when you're in prison? How can you bring value to the world and those that love you? How can you do it? You threw all that shit away, my boy. Now, of course, a lot of times, the thing about men is you can get out of prison and build up your value and provide value to society. You see a lot of those examples. You see that with, Malcolm X. You see that with Nelson Mandela, although with his value was kind of the reason he was put in prison in the first place. But you get the point that I'm making. Let's continue.
But this is the thing though. If I end up doing porn, like I can only speak from my life. If I end up doing porn, it would only be because I want to, not because I needed to. That's where the support comes.
No. But again, this is where a lot of times women prove that they don't know themselves or understand themselves. Why would you want to? A woman in her natural, healthy state would never want to. But why would she want to? Because she doesn't have the healthy attention or understanding of the valuable attention that she needs to get. And so she's seeking elsewhere. And so therefore it will manifest in getting into pornography. So she'll get unhealthy attention. You know what I'm saying? Or she becomes a nympho because she was abused as a child, or any other unfortunate event that happens to her that disrupts her health or her healthy relationship with sex. You know what I'm saying? That's an unhealthy relationship for her to get into pornography. It just is. So if she would want to, something is off. So I'm still not going to support it. Or I failed as a father somewhere. Honestly. Let's continue.
It's worse.
If my parents think,
imagine you ain't gotta do porn and you do porn. Imagine if I own like 10 hotels, and one of my daughters come to you like, your dad, I'm going moving to LA. I think I'm moving to LA. I'm like, okay, like dope. Like, what are you pursuing? Like, you gonna get into the, the Hollywood acting? Like, what do you want to do? Model? Like, what do you want to do? No, I think I'm gonna do porn.
Okay, but what if your daughter wanted to get ran through in her own personal time? Would you still be a failure as a father?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to make you consistent.
Yes. You failed as a dad if your daughter.
Both of you gentlemen are ran through, right? So, do you guys think that your fathers are failure? Well, not your. Do you think that your father's a failure?
My dad?
Yes.
Here go to blank slate equalism. We're not the same. Men don't get run through. Now, if he gets run through, that's a problem because men ran through him. Men don't get run through by women. We have to be able to attract them to be able to fuck them. That takes skill. That takes effort. So for a man to be able, we're not saying that our boys or our sons should run through women, but it's nowhere near the same if they're running through women as if our daughter is being ran through men, because he had to bring things to the table to make the girls even want him to smash. That's why a lot of fathers be proud of their sons and be like, attaboy, when they're able to smash girls or be a ladies' man. That's why, bro. Let's continue.
He's a failure. My dad, you're fucking right. My dad's a failure. But my dad, he's a loving father. But he wasn't there for a lot of my childhood. But as a man now, I understand he had issues. Mm-hmm. He had his shit he had to overcome. He had his addictions. He had to.
But even if
now, if I'm running through women, if I'm running through bitches, and I don't got nothing to show for myself, and I don't have no money, and I ain't really take care of myself and my well-being, and all I'm doing is chasing pussy, and I'm getting a lot of pussy, that's a failure. That's totally different. That is totally different. These two young gentlemen are doing well for themselves, and they, have experience with women. That's totally different. That's not necessarily a failure, man. Let's continue.
If your father was still around, you would still be ran through.
Huh?
Even if your father was still around, you would still be ran through. No?
Yeah, that means my pops did something right. If the ladies like,
man, Maul, see, this is the thing about Maul, man. He be on point with his views, but he never, not that he has to, but I'm just saying he doesn't break down his views, or a lot of men don't even have the capabilities of breaking down why and break down the science of why we are how we are, and why things are that way naturally. He doesn't have the ability to break that down even to the point where which he says you are ran through. No, stop it right there. We can't be ran through, bitch. We can't. Let's continue.
like me.
If you're an agency, consultant, or coach and want to have your calendar packed with sales calls like this one right here,